Today we're going to start our Tai Chi practice seated, which is quite an unusual thing for Tai Chi. It's a standing practice. And this is the second week of our 10-week kind of introduction to Tai Chi, the foundations of Tai Chi. We'll be talking about another one of the 10 principles of Yang Sheng Fu. We'll do a little bit of breath work. We'll also do a little bit of standing meditation and warm up, and then we're going to do the form called Repulse the Monkey. So let's just start by bringing our attention inwards. As we learned last week, the study of Tai Chi is a study of our own body, what we can control, teaching ourselves to ignore what we can't control. So you might like to just bring attention to any part of your body you like. Just invite yourself to meet in this place of practice. We're going to start today with an abdominal breath. So you might even like to bring your palms to your belly. And just see if you can start to find the rhythm of your breath. Located underneath the palms so that the belly is expanding proudly as we breathe in. And then sinking back as we sigh out. And often we do have that thing where we suck in our belly when we breathe in. So just notice that it's kind of the opposite of that, we're expanding. We'll learn more about the second principle in a little bit, but essentially it is sink the chest, raise the back. So you might just like to soften this upper part of the chest as you breathe into your abdomen. Drop the shoulders. Drop the elbows. Just bring all your attention as low as you can. We'll start off the practice with a Zen story today. You might do this every day, but see if you can keep your focus on your breath as you listen to the story. This one is called Moving to a New Town. So there's two men that decide they want to move to a new town, and they seek out the nearest town and the Zen master there, who is the wisest man in the town. The first man says, "Zen master, I really want to move to this town. I like the feel of it." The Zen master says, "Tell me about your town that you live in now." And man says, "Ah, my town is awful. People are so rude. I can't wait to get out." The Zen master strokes his chin and says, "Well, this town is very much the same. I don't think you'll like it here." Walking along a little further, the second man comes up to the Zen master and says, "Zen master, this town seems really great. I'm thinking of moving here." And the Zen master says, "What's the town like where you live right now?" And this man replies, "Oh, it's wonderful. The people are so friendly. I love it. I just feel like I need a bit of a change." And the Zen master says, "This town is very much the same. I think you'll love it here." So this story, I guess, is about wherever you go, there you are. How we do anything is how we do everything. What matters is not what we do, it's why we do it. You might just take a few more breaths. See if you can expand the breath into your hips. To the side of the body. And then when you're ready, we're going to take our arms down and just slowly press ourselves up into a standing position. Let's bring our feet underneath our hips. We'll start in our Wuji stance, our stance of nothingness or stillness. Arms are heavy by the side of the body. From Wuji, when we start to move, this is when we are in the state of Tai Chi or Tai Chi. Wuji is stillness. Tai Chi is moving or action in stillness. You might like to just let the shoulders be heavy. Let's start right there. We might just roll the shoulders. Let's take our arms across the body. Just embrace ourselves. Notice which arm is on top. Take a breath in. And then we're going to open out, draw the shoulder blades together as we sigh out. Switch your arms. Other arm comes on top. And then opening out. Keep pressing through the feet as you do this. We're extending our shoulder blades away, drawing them in. Notice all the tension in the shoulders, wherever it might be. One more time. This time, grab the opposite elbow, bring the hands above the head. We'll might even take a little back bend. And then sweeping the arms wide, we'll bring them all the way behind. Interlace the fingers, draw the palms together and down. Inhale, lifting, reaching up. And exhale, wide and behind. One more time. Let's shake out our arms. Let's just lean your whole body to one side. Keep both feet heavy. And just let your arm be really loose. You might like to just shake it out. We're exploring tension in our shoulders today. And we'll come up tall, take a breath. And then the other side, just leaning down, letting the arm go forward and back, maybe shaking it out. All right, let's roll one arm behind and then the other. Just noticing the connection of your waist and your hip. As the waist rolls back, the shoulder rolls back. You might like to follow the hand with your eyes. Feet stay heavy. We'll come back to the center. Let's bring hands to the hips, rolling the hips. Changing directions. Let's take our feet a little wider. And we're going to just roll our weight onto one leg and then come through the center, roll the weight onto the other. Keep the weight in the back of the body, no pressure on the knee. And if it feels safe for your body, you might like to start lifting the toes and turning the waist a little to the side. And then switch to the other side. Only if it feels right. Drop the body into the standing leg. Keep the back straight. Maybe one more each side. And we'll come back and shake our arms. Let's do another one in our horse stance, actually. Let's bring our elbows close to the side of the body. And we're going to strike down, tap the shoulder, return. And keep moving from side to side. And letting your arm be as heavy as you can. Just let gravity, momentum move it. And we'll step back. Let's do one more for our shoulders. We're going to take one arm in a backwards motion, 2 loops, and then tap the shoulder, and then a forward motion for 2 loops. And try and let it be as heavy as you can. And then we'll go to the other side. And shake out both arms. Hands on the hips, just pressing into the ball of the feet, pressing to the toes. You might raise the heels off the ground and then bring them back down. Let's do a few more, just making sure we're not holding breath. You might even like to focus on that abdominal breath. All right, so second principle of Yang Chen Fu's 10 principles is to sink the chest and raise the back. So you might just start maybe with this feeling of what happens when you push out your chest, when you suck your belly in. Just do it maybe to notice the difference. You'll notice our kind of weight come forward. Maybe we feel a little bit less balanced. And we take that big deep breath in, suck in our belly. So let's see if we can reverse that now. So sinking the chest, drop your weight into the heels. And we're not looking for a concave chest, but we're looking for just a sense of welcoming here. I think this principle has been turned into a kind of modern saying, which is soft front and strong back, which I also love. Soft front, welcoming, embracing the world, being open, being adaptable, being changeable. Strong back, carrying the people I care about, carrying my family, carrying my friends, being solid, being consistent, helping people when they're in need. So you might like to think of this principle as soft front, strong back, if you like, but essentially it's sink the chest. So just drop. And notice that when you kind of roll your shoulders back, same thing happens. You lose this sense of stability and you don't have that sense of relaxation through the spine. So our shoulders are not pulled back, they're just heavy. Sink the chest. Raise the back, you might find a little bit harder to kind of get your head around, but just sense of the power is coming from the back, from the stability at the back of the body. Sink the chest, raise the back, not raise the shoulders. Shoulders stay heavy. So just maybe take a few breaths in this way. So our breath is from our belly, just like we did at the start. Notice that sense of strength through the back of the body. Notice that sense of openness, sense of being able to yield, to be able to adapt, soften. The more we push our chest out, the less balanced we'll be. All right, let's do a little bit of standing meditation in this form, just so we really get that connection with our breath. So this is a very famous Qigong standing meditation, Zan Zhuang it's called. And you might just float up your arms in front of your body, in front of your kind of heart center. Wrists are loose, shoulders, elbows heavy. Back of the knees are soft. Tailbone tucks under a little, the spine is long. You might tuck in your chin. Feel the crown of the head lifting up, vertebrae spreading away from each other. And just bring your attention to the breath. The diaphragm connects with the kind of midpoint at the bottom of your rib cage. So you might just become aware of the diaphragm opening and closing, belly rising and falling. So often people stay in this shape for 20 or 30 minutes. And it might be the only exercise they do, and they're usually very fit looking. Just a reminder that we don't have to move around all the time. We don't have to be rushing in order to feel healthy. Let's take 3 more breaths. Follow each in-breath, each out-breath. Bring it all the time it needs. When you're ready, slowly bring the palms back down. Just take a moment to notice how you feel. All right, so today's form, the second form of our 10 is Repulse the Monkey. And we'll start with the form itself, and then we'll connect it to our commencing form from last week. So we want to have our palms face up. Lao Gong point, the middle of our palm connecting to the sky, the heavens above. Our Yong Chen point underneath the ball of the big foot, connecting with the earth. See if you can find that soft front, that sunken chest. And with the form, Repulse the Monkey, of course, monkey is our mind. We're going to see if we can connect all the loose thoughts of our mind and kind of push them ahead. So we'll start the form. I'll just show it to you first. We're following our fingers as we roll our weight back. And then we're drawing the hand in, elbow stays heavy, over the heart center, press until the palms meet, yin yang, not touching, but just connecting. And then we're pushed out. Follow the fingers with your eyes. And now our palms start to turn, then our waist starts to turn. Our hand comes up. Arms keep that yin yang relationship. We push out over the heart center, follow the fingers all the way, not reaching, just extending. And then we keep going, turning the waist, eyes following the fingers. So don't reach out so far that you lose your sense of centeredness, your sense of strength at the back. Remember, we're raising the back and softening the chest. Now, you might notice that you start to lose your yin-yang connection of the hands. Shifting from forward and back, from upper and lower. Just take your time and you might like to start with your attention underneath the feet. From our feet, the energy works up our legs. And energy is always controlled by our waist. So notice how much your waist and shoulders are moving together. And of course, our chi is expressed through our hands. Essentially, the arms and the hands are the least important thing here. Most important thing is to feel that solidity through the ground, the power from the stability. The waist and shoulders working together. And when you're ready, just bring your palms back to the body. As we always do, just scan through, notice how you feel after this form. Maybe mind is a little less busy. All right, let's talk about a few of the common errors that people make with Repulse the Monkey. One that I see a lot is people just doing freestyle without kind of moving their hips and their shoulders much. So you might like to just roll shoulder and hip. We're looking for a connection between our shoulder and hip wherever we move, every Tai Chi form. So just roll from side to side. Notice the feeling of shifting your weight onto one side and then the other. Another very common mistake that I see is people kind of reaching out too far, pushing out. And another one I see is people kind of like just taking their arm way behind, but their gaze is forward. So you want to keep your eye and hand connected. If your hand is back here, you won't be looking at it unless you look back and you become unstable. What else? Another one is quite often people push out from the side, but we really want to find our center, and then we're pushing out from the center, so from our heart center. So our arm comes in and we're pushing out. Arms are connecting with each other, yin yang, before they separate again. So just have a little practice of each of those things, or just be mindful of each of those things. Most important thing, of course, is the sinking the chest, raising the back, this sense of stability and form that we start with. Let's go back to where we started last week with our commencing form, and then we'll see how we connect Repulse the Monkey to the commencing form. So start legs together, feet together, arms down by the side, palms turned in. You want to have your chin tucked in, the crown of your head, your halfway point lifting up. Before you do anything, sink down. Shift all your weight, all your attention onto the one leg without moving anything. Our eye gaze is up into the distance. Whenever you feel ready, most important thing is no rush. Whenever you feel ready, sink down, float the toes across. Heel comes down, weight shifts, and then we're just going to float the arms up, sighing out, sinking. And then we turn the palms. And as we turn the palms, we start the movement. All right, let's try that again. So commencing form. Just bring your attention in. Can you really sink down and feel stability even though your legs are together? Can you feel that crown of the head reaching up? Connection to the earth and the sky. Sink down through the standing leg. When the breath comes, float up. All right, let's try one more time. We'll be building on this Tai Chi practice every week through the 10 weeks. We'll end up with 10 forms that all connect, all hopefully make sense. Most important thing is to build from a solid foundation. So we'll always just come back to this commencing form. Try not to rush, just listen to your breath. And when you're ready, step back. Let's give each other our Tai Chi salute. And then we'll bow, just honoring shared practice on this day.